matchup here. Not only does history tell us that, but I think even just the caliber of players that we see in their history in RLCS, we know what these guys bring to the table, and we know what Mist is bringing to the table today, in particular with EnVy. You know, I talked about this team having kind of that dynamic duo in Atomic and Mist, and Turbo as that anchor, but not able to make the first save as Justin with a double tap right off the bat.
And Squishy with a great challenge, pointing his nose down to get the bounce. He got it, and then Justin, well, he hits those almost every single time. He's looked good today in a world where Justin hasn't looked like Justin lately, but today seems to be a slow return to form for him. And the rest of NRG, they do pick up right where they left off after their 3-hour break.
Yeah, they don't even let us warm up into it. And I think you hit the nail on the head. It doesn't feel like all three of NRG are playing up to their optimal type of play in any of their games. Sometimes one player has a better game than others, and the expectation is if this is going to be another World Championship team to have all three players playing at their best.
And Justin will take the point again, looking for a second chance at the net, but EnVy back on defenses. Corelli, I've gotten a close look at EnVy over the past few weeks over on the grid, and something that I thought they were doing really well were, hang on a second, sorry, I see Justin in the air, he's looking for Garrett in traffic, but nothing's gonna happen there. But they've really got a solid rotation, and it's thanks to Turbo and Mist. Like Turbo especially, you've seen it today. He's a monster in midfield, and the challenges that he's able to win enable EnVy to do so much. Mist is very similar. I feel like Mist knows how to win those challenges. He also almost puts that in. No goal there for Mist, but we continue on.
Very close call there for EnVy, but I agree with what you're talking about. I feel like the EnVy rotation is very strong, and it is up to the opposition to kind of break that up. When you have the type of speed in players like Atomic, and you have the type of do-it-all in players like Mist, it's very tough to break that rotation when you throw in Turbo Pulse into the mix. So a team like NRG certainly knows how. It's more about can they execute it on it here in this game.
And make no mistake about it, Atomic is wonderful in this lineup. He is a passer. Like, he always finds Turbo and Mist in tight situations. It's impressed me how, because Atomic has kind of, turned his development in a direction where I thought he was going to be one of those mechanical solo stars that we see, like, as this ball high off the backboard and shot by Justin, it will go in for NRG. And that's a 2-goal lead, pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what happened here in EnVy, because two players were committed, and unfortunately Mist just couldn't get a handle on the initial touch towards the back wall. And NRG have a free net to shoot on, so a 2-goal lead now for NRG. And EnVy have had some close calls, but halfway through game one, NRG holding on to their 2-goal lead. Justin
seems to be winning everything he touches today. And this ball was popped up for Garrett, but Atomic able to get back. And a battle for the ball that Garrett wanted to find Squishy on. Squishy will win the challenge against Turbo, but Mist was quickly there to follow it up. EnVy lacking on offense despite 4 shots on net. I certainly can't remember any of them. And Squishy on the carry, gonna flip right over Turbo.
Man,
Justin flying and scoring again. That is a hat trick for Justin.
And you really can't afford to give someone like Squishy this much time at the midfield just to set up, survey the field, see what his options are. You know a player like him is going to pick the best option, and that was a fantastic flick down to Justin, who now has a hat trick, and all 3 of his goals have come off of the assist from Squishy.
That is just, Justin, I don't think he's lost a touch in this game. Very solid, and Squishy slows it down, but he had plenty more boost left to keep that carry on. Justin will take it again, and now NRG are just playing keep away from EnVy. They know they're just reacting to their every touch, and so NRG carrying the ball, keeping control, daring EnVy to take a challenge or just continue to try to read NRG, but the ball always bounces back into an orange car. Even right there, missed attempted clear, he just ran into Squishy. Justin back to Garrett, and it'll be a light ball, but plenty of time wasted on that whole approach, Corelli, about 30 to 35 seconds.
Remember, this is a best of 7, so we have a lot more Rocket League ahead of us, as I think Squishy punted someone out, or Atomic got sent flying there. As the net opens up once again for NRG. Squishy caught him as he jumped, and he gets thrown out of his own end. Justin there to tap it in. His 4th goal now for NRG.
Nothing EnVy are doing just seems to be the right call. Every time they go for these clears, it's either right back into NRG, and even when you do think you have an approach, well, you get bumped anyway. They could use a pick-me-up goal right here, but that's not going to happen. Justin wanted another. And Squishy will make another challenge happen, but this is a scary NRG to start. EnVy, they have this tendency to be slow out the gate in game ones in general, from what I've seen. And by game 2, they seem to be a lot faster. But right now, I mean, NRG are just reading them easily and winning those like I said, Justin, I think, in that first half really solidified NRG's dominance in game 1, Corelli.
And for the most part here in game 1, this is the game that NRG wants to play. EnVy has fallen straight into this NRG trap of just having the ball's been thrown straight back into the NRG hands over and over and over again. And on top of that, a lot of space for NRG to work with. So EnVy have got to turn things around here. This was not a good display here in game 1. NRG really, it felt effortless from them here in game 1, and a lot of mistakes and a lot of space being given up by EnVy.
Yeah, and again, Justin, you'll see it on the replay. All the goals were his. Squishy with 3 assists. He's also looked pretty good today. If you remember NRG's first game, Johnny Boy, his key for NRG was Squishy. If Squishy is playing good Rocket League, doesn't make any hardcore whiffs or anything, NRG are probably going to be in the driver's seat the whole way through until they meet Space Station. EnVy certainly have a little bit to prove now with the complete real lack of consistency on offense.
And I'm just watching these replays as you're talking, Jorby. Look at all the space that NRG had for all of these plays to kind of materialize for them in front of the EnVy net. Just felt like EnVy couldn't either keep up with the pace or just didn't get to the ball quick enough. So there's a lot of gaps that EnVy needs to close to make those decisions from NRG just a little bit faster, where maybe Squishy doesn't have 2-3 seconds to look around and see what he's got in front of him.
Well, let's see what EnVy can pull out of the bag in game 2. It is a slightly longer match from the semifinals onward. Best of 7s. So not too much pressure yet, but you certainly don't want to let it get out of hand. Turbo,
oh my.
It looked like it clipped off of him. And yeah, that's one way you can start game 2, Corelli.
Justin still got a piece of that, and NRG already a couple shots to their name. See how EnVy's first attack goes here. Unfortunately, Atomic doesn't have a lot of boost to work with, so he can't get rid of the ball.
Good carry from Squishy, but Justin was playing the rebound the whole way. He had the shot saved by Atomic, and now Atomic's got Turbo on the wing, and it will be knocked down by Garrett. A nice job hopping the route, and it forces EnVy back to their own half, and missed to get creative with the ball, but Squishy takes it away on the challenge, and NRG seemed to have righted it as soon as it looked like it was going to get bad. But Turbo, long ball, which will be cleared out by Garrett and Squishy.
Another one that gets over the heads of that last man on the defensive line for EnVy. Very dangerous. You know how quick NRG can take advantage. And here's another ball just bouncing in the box. Left, right side shot. Squishy puts it just wide.
Another attempted clear, but NRG stand in the way at every single touch. Justin takes the pass, but he gets a shot for free. EnVy can't seem to track NRG on the pitch when they get on offense. There's another free shot for Garrett. Nobody is contesting anything that they're throwing at them. Justin's next. Miss tries to read it, but Justin almost got around the whole defense, and Squishy just forces the ball out. He wins the boost. Garrett demos a guy on his way to Justin, who can't find the net. Taken back. Is there another shot? Finally, EnVy get out, but definitely by their skin.
NRG have now hit their 10th shot here before 2 minutes into game 2. They are peppering that back wall right now. Still not finding the mark, and that's credit to EnVy, really just all sitting on their goal line there. You can see them all bunched up, but a good shot from Miss gets turned away by Justin. Now quickly downfield, Garrett, can he put it away? Follow up from Justin, and it's still dangerous here for NRG as it comes down. And then EnVy once again make a couple saves.
Oh, how have they not scored yet? I thought for sure when Garrett had it, he was gonna sink it, but he ended up hitting the crossbar.
Oh.
And it gave Tom a chance, but Squishy might have another. Turbo throws it away. Justin already behind the ball. Garrett's gonna be next. But Turbo getting that clear sends him the whole way back to his corner. Now NRG, just when they're about to get control of midfield, Garrett gets just enough power on his touch to force miss back. Can they get some consistent touches here? Atomic in midfield, looking for Mist, but easily defended by Justin. Squishy also there in midfield. Garrett next, looking for Justin in traffic. That challenge effectively. Turbo's now back over to Atomic. EnVy, I feel like they are just getting away with everything. I don't know how they have kept NRG out of their net, but they can't stay on offense, Corelli. There's no plan of attack as soon as they cross midfield. It dies because they've been so focused on defense, and now it's in trouble. Pop up high off the backboard. Garrett, one. Is there another? Yes, but saved by Mist. Still it continues. Squishy over to Justin. It bounces off a couple of cars. Justin somehow wins that. Mist diving in, but Garrett's there. The shot off to Squishy. The tip that gives NRG the lead. The pressure insurmountable.
So many body shots coming out from NRG, and finally the KO here to put the ball in the back of the net. It was just a tap in from Squishy, but my goodness, EnVy stood tall in the face of massive pressure and so much offense from NRG and creative attacks as well. And NRG finally able to break that defense. Now coming up on a minute left, it's up to EnVy. Can they generate any sort of offense? You were talking about it, Jorby. Every time they break out, they immediately give up the ball, and that's due to their first and second man just not having any boost. Once they pass that halfway point, they use it all to break out, but have nothing less to put an attack on.
Well, we'll see if something can develop here for them. It has died about at that corner, but winning that challenge may give EnVy a chance. Mist can't get a solid touch. Just a little late on the challenge, and now NRG back. If they get insurance here, it is all assured, or all but assured in game 2 that they take it. But Atomic, he's got Mist. Turbo in midfield denied. Squishy immediately sneaking that pass and taking the ball away. NRG, you know, we talk about EnVy dying on offense, but then when they do get something drawn up, NRG have them red all day, Corelli.
17 shots for NRG at the moment. There's still 20 seconds left, and they might get another one here. Justin, maybe a goal, as it's saved away by Atomic, but they'll add another one to the tally. So a lot of shots coming out from NRG as 10 seconds rains down here for EnVy. Do they have one more attack?
Mist, he gets a solid touch in midfield, but oh, what was that? Squishy forces EnVy to go the distance. Can they? No, that touch will not do it. And NRG are oppressive.
Wow. I think if you had any questions about NRG after that game, they have been completely destroyed. That performance right there shows a team that is playing out of their minds right now. And I think the only negative is that they just didn't score more. I think that's really the biggest issue. If you were to take something away for NRG to work on, it's just that they didn't score more. They had so many shots, and granted, 13 saves on the side of EnVy. So clearly the defense was holding up, but man, for EnVy, you really got to break out of your half. I mean, what can you say? There was just so much pressure and so little boost for EnVy to work with that NRG just took full advantage.
It's rare that we see a team get dominated that heavily, especially EnVy, who in this matchup, it's starting to develop into it was starting to develop into a rivalry with, you know, NRG up in their match score 3-2, but EnVy have always looked competitive, like they could have taken the set. And you always felt like if they played another minute or two, maybe EnVy could have taken it. But this is just next level from NRG. And if you have Leaf as your guy you look at for your predictions, which is a scary thing to do.
I know.
He's not exactly wrong in looking forward to NRG versus Space Station. And NRG might punch their ticket first as Justin picks the first goal.
And this is another one of just lack of boost. You're wondering why nobody has, or why EnVy has nobody back there. Atomic had to go to the mid boost after coming back, and he because he had to go out so wide, he couldn't cut back across to the center of field to get to that ball quick enough. And that's why there was the massive gap that Justin was able to take advantage of.
And that is a Justin starting to really feel it. I feel like he's getting faster somehow every time he gets by. Every single touch Justin wins, he gets a little bit faster, but Garrett's also speeding up. NRG, oh, have they shaken off the rust? They have not looked themselves lately. Today, it looked promising in their quarterfinal match, but you really were wondering about EnVy. Well, maybe you're not wondering anymore. They are in form again, still dominating EnVy on their own half. The best touch Turbo can get in midfield is a dump off the challenge back to Squishy, who wins one. And maybe two as Garrett forces it behind him. What a shot saved by Mist.
That's such a tough shot to hit, and got two defenders to go as well. Turbo's still having to make another save. But you're kind of seeing the same plays develop from last game where NRG are just taking pot shots at the net right now, and it's just forcing this EnVy defense to use boost, to force them to have good communication. There's a little musty flick from Justin. And EnVy right now are really struggling, again, to break out of their own side and even just control their own boost. I saw one player just pick up that left corner boost. But otherwise, EnVy really struggling to hold on here.
And even there where Mist has a chance to get a hard clear, where he's reliable usually, it was just not the best touch you wanted. You ended up giving up possession again. There was a good attempt, but not good enough. Atomic overshooting Mist. You like the idea, it was drawn up, but NRG thwarting everything EnVy have. Turbo diving back in the nick of time. He couldn't get the next touch, but he forced Squishy off the ball. Turbo, no, he doesn't get the next touch and Mist. The ball's over his head and Squishy forces the ball back up. Everybody trying to read who's gonna touch the ball. It's like 3 levels in the mind games in midfield, but Squishy will be the next up for NRG. Can EnVy find some sort of life, some sort of consistency here? Where's a shot? Atomic may give Mist a chance. He looks, he got him, and that's good! EnVy finally on the board.
And it's a quality play here from EnVy as well. They catch NRG out. That ball comes straight down to Atomic, and a fantastic pass. You got to give credit to Atomic to drop that one off in front of Mist. The positioning was there as well. So for EnVy, this is a great play for them to stick back into it. The defense is holding strong. They're keeping the game close, even though they're not really generating any offense. This could be the ignition they needed to get back into it.
Squishy behind the ball now, and a demo will clear the lane. Mist probably didn't help his team, but Turbo will hop up in time. I thought Garrett might have got the first touch there. And EnVy trying to be a little more aggressive on the touches now. Mist doesn't straight out win the challenge in midfield, but Turbo had the space, goes for the pinch to get the boost, and he wins the next touch. But EnVy's rotation relaxed in midfield, expecting quicker clears, and NRG seeing it and giving them the opposite, but it's still a battle for possession. Corelli, who's gonna come up with this ball? Still a battle. Justin, oh! I thought he had an angle. He did, but just overshot it.
And this could be an opportunity for EnVy. They get the breakaway downfield. It was just Squishy in net, and unfortunately, Turbo couldn't put it away. Great save from Squishy, and quickly down the field is Garrett with a shot. You can see the pace of the game, how it quickly speeds up. And unfortunate there for both teams, really. Both teams had a good look on net.
And another ball that Mist has to handle. Might give Justin a good look at the net. That has to be saved by Turbo. Atomic now has to fight off one attacker. That was Garrett by him. Mist can't win against Squishy, who is also winning the lion's share of challenges that have come his way. Justin gets another shot. Goal! NRG back on top.
And then another ball that just pops out in the box of EnVy. They're trying to make the play in the corner. It's not a good challenge from Turbo Pulse, and that's a tough bounce for Atomic. He thought maybe that one would roll around towards the front post, but it bounces straight out to an NRG player who can slap it home, and they're back in the lead.
Just when you think there's a flicker of life, it starts to flicker a little faster as EnVy desperately tries to keep the flame that they have finally found alive. A lead or a tie game evaporating quicker than they might have wanted here up Atomic in midfield. Turbo is waiting, He'll at least slow down Garrett, giving a chance for Atomic, but it was a pass to Justin, who takes the ball up almost. Found the...
He almost flicked it on there, but he was looking for the bump after he couldn't get the enormous flick he was looking for. Here's Garrett, though, on the dribble. He could put this one away. The ball goes wide, and Garrett actually clears it away. EnVy, do they have anything left in the tank here? Can they get up to it and gain some sort of possession? Unfortunately, knocked down. And NRG looking to sweep EnVy here.
Well, NRG, here we are again, looking at you like you want to be the best team in North America. Certainly putting on the performance worthy of the title, and they just need one more now, Corelli. It's been best of fives in the regional all up until this semifinal, and that little extra stretch, I don't know if EnVy really have it here. NRG they just look like they're a tier above right now.
It's hard to make an argument against that, Jorby. NRG have just been quicker. They've been better positioned. And I think overall have just benefited off of the being more organized in their final third. I mean, you can even look at it. I mean, in the last couple of games, you can see how organized NRG is. They don't double commit. They're not greedy. They give space when there's a solo play happening. They don't all just bunch up and chase after the ball into the final third. And EnVy just can't keep up with the pace right now. And that's really been the difference here. You know, it's not like NRG are just leagues ahead of them. It's just that NRG are executing so much better here in the final third, and EnVy just can't break out. The boost game is just abysmal for EnVy right now. They cannot get a hold of any of their boosts.
Yeah, they force so many rotations out of EnVy on defense that by the time they do win a challenge in midfield, the rest of your team is still licking their wounds from the last couple of challenges that they lost. We'll see if the tide can turn for Mist. He's hit a couple doubles today, but has been notably silent, absent for EnVy. He's had a couple of plays at times where it looks like they're really gonna pop off, but the challenges in midfield can't get you anywhere if it doesn't mean you score. So Turbo, the dunk will not go towards the net, but it gave Atomic a chance. He'll pop Turbo it for again. Turbo. Shot blocked again. NRG keeping the gates closed. Squishy fighting against Mist for the ball, but Mist wins. He's over Justin. Garrett, last man. Mist does not want anyone on NRG to have this ball. So EnVy will take it back here from midfield.
And to your point, Jorby, it's tough for anyone to stand out on EnVy when they're playing Defense Simulator 2020 right now. I mean, for the last 2-3 games, it's been all NRG putting on shots, but Turbo might be able to change things. Atomic's got to also get up, and Justin there to clear it out, and maybe once more with no boost. And that's just been EnVy's day. A couple good attacks, but still can't break this NRG defense.
But Atomic does still have the ball. Turbo hunting on the line for a demo. It bought maybe some time, but Mist. It took him a while to get back over towards the box. Now trying to rotate back to give Atomic a chance. Justin bodies him off the ball, and Atomic has to race forward. Mist will pick this up. A lot of fast action there happening, all leading up to nothing, but maybe something finally develops for EnVy on this push. Turbo off the ceiling. Can't get a solid touch on it, and Justin will easily take it off the backboard.
I will say in this game in particular, through the first 2-ish minutes, EnVy have done a better job of at least breaking out from their defensive third. And a couple of good beats there by Mist. An opportunity now if Atomic couldn't put that one away. But EnVy do look to be a little bit better here in this game, at least breaking down and keeping some possession in the final third.
Yeah, Mist opting for the catch. He'll swing by one. That was Justin, but it gets back to him. Back to Garrett. Garrett over Turbo. He's got to beat Atomic, and Garrett almost found the net. Mist looking for a clear. EnVy don't allow that one to overstay its welcome. Justin having to handle the ball on the backboard as EnVy switch back. Atomic hard off the back wall. Turbo will prevent the clear from Garrett for now, and Mist will take advantage of this next pop-up. Can this be the push for EnVy? A high bounce, but it's squishy. Nothing develops on that push, Corelli. EnVy got to try again.
It's looking better from EnVy, and you're seeing now NRG not having as much opportunity. And even when the NRG do move down the field, they're forced to just kind of push it or toss it downfield instead of having these crazy creative passing plays that we've seen so far. It's definitely changed the way NRG are approaching this game now as EnVy get a bit of a foothold here.
Yeah, and this time you have Atomic going downfield to receive the pass from Mist. You're certainly right, Corelli. Not really feeling the pressure like they were in the previous games. They have a little bit more boost to work with. They can take more aggressive posturing on defense to get more intentional clears into space to set up a counterattack. Squishy starting for NRG in midfield to commit from EnVy. That may slow the rotation a bit if Justin could find a bump or a touch or anything, but Mist will carry the ball out of harm's way, and we're all reset again. EnVy have found their form, but they got to find some more offense. They've had a couple of shots early in the game. Offense is starting to die. They cannot let this flame go out.
Oh, what a play from Squishy here as Justin almost put it away. That was so smart to use his second jump to get down instead of trying to get under the ball like a lot of players would predict. Still a tie game, like we're talking about, Jorby, coming up on a minute left. This is anyone's ball game out of all the games that we've seen. Ooh. This certainly can go both ways. It could be EnVy. Justin's got to make the goal line save, and he does, but EnVy's still here.
Oh, Atomic! Oh, it was blocked by Justin, but Mist will take the ball. Turbo's in front of the net, but couldn't cause enough havoc to create an opening. Atomic wanting to find Mist, but Mist's ball could never be found. Taken away off the back wall. Turbo, another demo. Mist had to catch. Atomic pulled it off. Mist flips it around, has to go opposite side. No shot happens, but they totally had an opportunity with Atomic following close behind. I feel like EnVy just squandered a chance to take this game.
Now NRG have opportunity here, 15 seconds left. And you're right, Jorby, EnVy had their chance, but now NRG, if they can get a hold of it, it's a good clear from Atomic here. And they might have the last lap. That's a dangerous ball jumping out. Turbo Pulse is gonna put a shot on target, it's cleared away. And now NRG might have the last lap.
Missed one more touch, actually. Here's Squishy, back to Justin. No more of that. Can NRG sweep their way into the grand final? Well, it might start with the overtime specialist himself, Justin, who forces Turbo to stretch across the goal line. Garrett picks the middle of the pass. Turbo barely keeps it alive. NRG on to the grand finals.
Goodness gracious, Turbo. Both those touches were so dicey, but it was such a great touch. Unfortunately, no one else there from EnVy to help him out. And a last-ditch effort to keep that ball out of the net, and NRG hop all over it. A 4-0 sweep as they move on to the finals.
Did not expect a sweep, and the dominant sweep. I thought this series would be competitive based off what we had seen from these two teams. But, I mean, NRG are just in that super team form that I think everybody expected as soon as Squishy signed to this team. And Squishy didn't wow you in any crazy mechanical things, but that's not really the player that he is on NRG anymore. He won so many crucial challenges for NRG, had some great carries to set up opportunities. He had 2 crucial saves in that game, and previously in the match had some great setups as well. But Justin is in Justin mode, and that is the most dangerous mode. If I'm any other team, I'm scared, Corelli.
Well, we talked about energy. You need every single player to be playing at their best. That was a dominating performance. I don't think there was a single weak link there for NRG. They are looking very strong going into the finals.
Now, there is one really fun story besides a potential Space Station NRG matchup. It's the Peeps trying to pull off the gauntlet run. They take on Space Station after we come back real quick.